Sometimes I can be the most negative Jets fan. And I try and give you guys on this channel the most unfiltered response possible. I try not to sugarcoat things. I try and tell you how it is. I try and not be really like a rah-rah guy, even though I do deep down want the team to succeed as much as possible. But today I wasn't happy. And I don't know if it was me not really quite understanding the full depth of the roster yet, but when they put out this depth chart, I am very, very concerned, especially on the offensive side of the ball. And again, I don't know if it's just me not quite understanding again how thin the roster truly is, or if it's just me maybe putting on my green goggles a little too much. But I'm concerned. Obviously, wide receiver, we have Garrett Wilson, and then they have as wide receiver 2, Alan Lazard and Josh Reynolds, wide receiver 3. I don't I keep forgetting that Alan Lazard is on this team. And to be quite honest with you, he's the only real answer at wide receiver 2. And that's pretty scary. We know his issues mentally. Sometimes he checks out of games. 2 seasons ago, he checked out of an entire season when Aaron Rodgers went down. And of course, he has an issue with the drops. Josh Reynolds, we don't really know what he's going to be as a wide receiver 3. I thought he would end up being wide receiver 2 and Lazard would be wide receiver 3. Offensive line, we have obviously our starters, Olu, Simpson, Tippmann, AVT, and Membu. But behind him, again, not much. Max Mitchell, we know what Max Mitchell is. Okafor on the right side, he quit on the Patriots last year. Completely quit. Xavier Newman as a guard. Again, Xavier Newman, I have videos, I have shorts out there ripping Xavier Newman because he just doesn't know what he's doing on the field. And this is a new blocking scheme. This is kind of a zone blocking scheme that different from what they had last year. So I don't know how he's going to be able to pick really any of this up. Josh Myers being the second behind Tippmann. I know they said it's going to be a open competition. I want Tippmann. I think Tippmann is the best center, but if he does go down, Josh Myers can step in. But if we lose another guy or two here on the line, we are going to have some real issues on the offensive line. And as a Jets fan, we've seen it year in and year out. There is always, always somebody who goes down on the offensive line. And it's always an issue. We're rotating guys in who have barely played. And it becomes a problem, especially with a quarterback like Justin Fields, who needs a good offensive line, needs that security, I think. I'm worried. Jeremy Ruckert being ahead of Mason Taylor, I think, is it's only that way because Jeremy Ruckert has been here for a few years now. I think Mason Taylor is going to beat him out and be the tight end 1 when all is said and done. And with the thinness at wide receiver, I could see Mason Taylor being a big part of the offense from a receiving standpoint. Moving down, not a shock with Braylon Allen being number 2, running back Isaiah Davis being number 3. I don't think they're going to carry a fullback this year, especially with Justin Fields and the RPO. A fullback does not fit into that prospect, so fit into that plan. So I think they're going to probably keep another offensive lineman in place of a fullback this year because of the thinness that I just said. Will McDonald as the edge on one side, Quinnen Williams, Byron Cowart, Derek Nandi. I think we're going to see a lot of guys rotating in again at the interior defensive line spot. Michael Clemens being the other edge. He's not going to be. Once Jermaine Johnson comes off that pup list, he's going to be the other edge on the other side. Sherwood, Quincy Williams, Michael Carter. No one behind really Michael Carter. Our strength of the team is at cornerback. And then at safety again, Andre Sisco and Tony Adams. Tony Adams continually making the team he wasn't drafted, right? correct me if I'm wrong, he was a free agent pickup. Malachi Moore picked up this year in the draft. Moving back down, Nick Folk. I look, as I was on vacation last week, I didn't have a lot of time to make a lot of content, and I really wanted to talk about Nick Folk coming back. It makes sense. It makes complete sense to bring in someone like Nick Folk. I think if this team does feel like they are a win now team, they're going to have to win these close games by, a few points here or there. And field goals are a big issue. They're going to be the reason why this team, I think, wins some games, loses some games. Nick Folk, welcome back. I'm happy he's here. Austin McNamara, I have nothing really to say about him. Xavier Gibson as the punt returner and kick returner, that's fine. He's kind of solidified his role there. And Thomas Hennessy, again, as the long snapper, I think he's to date the longest serving Jet right now. Those are my issues with this depth chart. Again, I don't know why a team puts out an unofficial depth chart on their official website. It gives me something to talk about. It gives me something to stress out about. It gives me something to talk to you guys about. And I try to keep it 100%. I try to keep it as real and as authentic as possible. You guys can go off to other channels, but you come here and you come and watch me. And I am telling you, I'm concerned, especially on the offensive side of the ball. I am worried. I think we're too thin at wide receiver. We're too thin on the offensive line. Few injuries here and there, and we're going to have some problems. I don't know if in my previous videos I was just washing over that, if I was just not realizing how thin we are until you actually look at the depth chart, look at the names, and you say to yourself, there's a lot to be concerned here about. If everyone stays healthy, then I think we're going to be okay. But this is the NFL. Guys get hurt. I think it's going to happen. We need to be real about this team. And if they think they can win, health is going to be the most important thing. And Aaron Glenn has these guys running live tackling drills and being very physical. And I think that actually benefits a team as the season goes on, because you've put in that work, you've put in that stress on your body, and maybe it works out in the long run where you don't get those little tweaks here and there in your hamstring or your knee or your ankle or your arm or whatever. This team has to stay healthy. And if they don't, I am worried. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. What were your first thoughts when you saw this depth chart? Did you kind of go doom and gloom like me? Were you kind of expecting it? Let me know.